Welcome to another episode of the Add Oil podcast. Today I'm here joined with Andrea. That is how you pronounce your name, right? Andrea.
Yes, yes. The actual pronunciation is Andrea, but I don't know why Canadians have this weird pronunciation of stuff. They'll be like Andrea, and I'm just like, okay,
Okay.
I guess I'll go by that as well.
So, unlike other guests that I have on this podcast, you are completely non-creative at
Nope,
all.
I am
And
not.
what do you study?
I study medicine, unfortunately.
You study medicine. How's that going for
Yes.
you?
It's going. That's what we'll say. It's going. It's going.
It's going.
It's going.
So,
Like,
what's this deal with you and getting off your meds? Is that like a permanent thing now,
mm,
or
I'm hoping it becomes a permanent thing. It's more so like, because, you know, as one goes further in the medical career, like there's going to be harder exams and like more stressful situations. So, I mean, I didn't get off my meds willingly because my mom didn't come to refill them, but it's like I didn't want to kind of depend on them for the rest of my life.
mm,
So, despite not getting a refill, I was like, you know what, let me take this as a good thing and just start to slowly wean off them anyways, because I felt like I wasn't going to depend on them all the time. So it was a blessing, I guess,
mm.
to
I mean,
not be able to refill them.
how are you finding it so far?
It's difficult. I find it super hard to concentrate, and my mind is always racing. Always, always racing.
So what if you don't mind me asking, like what are the medications for?
For which one? ADHD?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for ADHD, there's Adderall. There's other stuff as well, but the most commonly used one is Adderall. But I feel like it's more of a North American thing. Like, I don't think well, I don't know as well, because I don't think any of my friends who study medicine in the UK, I don't think any of them are on any type of stimulants. But I know that like Adderall is commonly used in um, North America, but I don't know about Europe. But I've heard like it's strict in Europe in terms of like getting it and being prescribed it.
Mm.
So, but yeah, that's the one I use. Not a junkie though. I literally just use it to focus. I'm not a junkie. I promise.
Sure.
I, listen, if I was a junkie, I would not be in medicine. I'd be on the streets.
Wow. Well, before I even met you,
Mhm.
you were going on about how you were going to be for the streets anyways.
Listen, and then I realized I can't do it because I form emotional attachments.
Ah.
So if I'm yes, I can talk to multiple people, but there's always going to be one person that I'm specifically focused on because it's just I feel like when it comes to being for the streets, you have to have this mentality of just not caring
Mm.
about other people in a sense and like what the various people you're talking to are feeling in a sense.
Mm.
But I can't do that because I'm just a naturally caring person, but I also not that I care for specific people, but I put more care into others. So even though I will have a roster, there's going to be one person who gets the most care, and the rest are just like split into eighth, split into seventh.
Okay, for people who don't know what the roster is, what is this
Ah,
roster that you always speak of?
so the roster is essentially just multiple people that's I talk to in a sense, but not like romantically or anything. Just like gauging if it will then dive into a romantic thing, and then if it does, everybody gets because pushed aside, and then again, that one person gets the most focus.
Okay. Because obviously, this is a new thing for you, right? Because you are. Oh, am I wrong?
But well, 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 yes and no. In the sense that like I'm someone who naturally likes to talk to people anyways,
Yeah.
so it's not that difficult. But then again, it's just that diving into it romantically. That's when it's like, there's the shift.
Mm. So I do want to talk about your, I guess, former long distance relationship. Do you mind if I go into that, or?
Yes, but we will not talk about. We will not say his name. To Voldemort, he who shall not be named.
So how was that? Like, how did it all begin?
It's all began through mutual friends. Because, like I said, I have a lot of people on. I have a lot of UK friends. So he knew one of my friends. Well, yes, he knew one of my friends, but he was friends with her boyfriend. And then when I became single and I was not actively looking, but just,
For the
you know,
streets.
not not for the street, just someone to talk to after I've had like a long day of studying, after I've been to university. Yeah, she was then like, oh, I know someone, and introduced us literally through Instagram. So we'll say we met through Instagram in a sense, and started talking more and more. I did not take it seriously at all because I was like I don't know the next time I'm gonna be in the UK, but it just started talking more and more. Then it became serious in the sense of like both of us really liked each other, and then he came to visit me, and then that was it. Start of a relationship, and then we broke up. But we're cool. We're cool.
Okay, okay. Now, because you don't live in the UK, you live in Sofia. Is that
Yes,
right?
and Canada.
Sofia. Okay.
And Canada.
Well, no, but you're, well,
Studying
yeah.
in Sofia. Yes.
And obviously, this guy was in the UK.
Hmm.
So, like, how's that distance for you?
Honestly and truly, Sofia and like dating within Europe is not that bad in the sense that like you can catch an 1 hour to 3 hour flight and you're in the other person's like area. So it's not really that difficult in the sense of when he moved, I will not say where because he who shall not be named, that that distance grew longer and I was just like, I personally cannot do this, even though he wanted to continue. Um, so yeah, dating within Europe, it's not that difficult. But let's say I was in Canada and then he was, well, there was times I would go home, but that would just be to visit family. But yeah, if it was like North America and Europe, that would have been too much of a distance. But yeah, from here to UK, it's only a 3 hour flight. So that's not that difficult in terms of distance.
Hmm.
And again, UK is 2 hours behind Sophia time. So again, time difference wasn't that
Hmm.
crazy or like difficult to deal with.
I mean, like, honestly, I've never experienced a relationship that's, well, first there will be a time difference, and for me to actually have to catch a plane to see this other person. I've only ever had
Mm.
like to drive
Yeah.
God knows how many hours to see the opposition, but like,
Like, and I think that's one reason why whenever people hear about long distance and it involves planes, they're like, oh, it's never gonna work. But it's like if two people put in the time and put in the effort in any relationship, really, it will work. But again, sometimes like for example, if the distance gets too wide for one person, it can cause things like a breakup, which it did.
hmm.
But it was a mutual one, so it wasn't bad.
So in terms of like what you guys did during the long distance, like what did you guys do in particular that was like stand out, we're together kind of thing?
Nothing really. It was just a normal relationship. There wasn't anything like, I mean, extraordinary minus the distance and having to catch flights to see each other. But for the most part, we were just a normal couple.
Okay. Okay, so then what suggestions would you give to, or what advice would you give to other people who are trying to do long distance but don't really like believe in it? Or would you not suggest
Obviously,
any at all?
no, I would suggest it if you like genuinely, really, really like the person. But both of you need to first create a very, very big establishment of trust because that is the main thing that will test your relationship minus the distance is going to be trust. In the sense that, you're going to be XYZ kilometers away from this person, time difference. So it's like they will be on your mind 24/7 just because you can't see them. So you're gonna have moments where you're like, oh my goodness, like I don't know if he's off doing this, if he's off doing that. But once you establish that trust and like you both know that, you know, despite the distance, we're hopefully in this for the long run, then there's really no worries. Like other than planning flights and then like, planning FaceTime calls and like making sure that you make time for each other in the day. It's just like any normal relationship. It's just that there's distance. Like you can't drive 10, 15 minutes to go see them.
Mm.
Like you either have to drive long hours or you have to catch a flight to see them.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just like I understand why some people are like, oh, long distance never works, and you know, um, some people just don't feel like it's worth the time and effort. But I think one thing about love is not everybody's story is going to be the same
Mm.
in the sense that some people are going to have completely, I won't say illogical, but a completely different story that's than what's the usual norm, if
Mm.
that makes sense. And like what I think one thing that also pushes a lot of long distance couples is the long distance isn't going to last forever. Like eventually, like if the two of you want to be end game, you're going to obviously move together, get married, have kids, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not forever. And I think that's one good reason to push for it, minus the trust. Just know that, okay, yeah, it might be a year, two, who knows, of long distance, but it's not going to be forever. And time honestly flies by, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, I
Yeah.
didn't know that it was going to be 1 year and, you know.
Time flies by when you're having fun, Andrea.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
So, was there any like standout struggles that you faced in your long distance relationship?
Mm, not really, because I am someone who doesn't demand a lot except for just updates and again trust. So as long as like, I'm told like what you're doing, how you're feeling, and again, honesty and trust. There's nothing else that I really need that's extraordinary.
Mm.
Because again, I just viewed it as just any regular relationship. Just again, with distance.
Okay. Quick question.
Hmm.
Do you have a tripod?
No, I do not.
Oh. Is there a way that you can like elevate your camera a little bit?
Uh, hmm. Let me figure this out. Actually, I probably could. I could probably put it like, goodness. Is that good?
Move it to your Right.
This way?
No, other way. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay, is that good?
Can you like tilt it that way a little bit?
Oh goodness,
Oh,
I'm balancing this. I'm literally balancing this on my computer.
oh my god.
Listen, I don't. Is this good?
Uh,
Like
yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, chill,
Yes.
chill, chill. Anyways,
uh, so, how comes you chose to study in Sophia?
I didn't choose.
You didn't choose.
No, my older brother was here, so then I was like, okay, well, someone's there that I already know.
Oh,
Might as well.
that's interesting. So,
But like, Sophia isn't. Um, it's actually not a bad place in the sense that, I mean, when I first came, there was really a lack of diversity. But as the years have been going by, I've been seeing like a lot more diversity now compared to before.
how long have
Because
you
I
been
think that
in
was
Sophia?
4 years.
4 years.
Mhm.
And what's that like?
Uh, Again, when I first came, it was very difficult because it was more of, yeah, a culture shock because going from living in North America to Europe, and forgive me, but European people are very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different. Um, yeah, I would say that was the biggest culture shock in a sense, but studying in Eastern Europe isn't as bad as people make it seem. Like whenever people think of Eastern Europe, they automatically think Russia, and it's like, no. I mean, it's understandable to get that vibe, but honestly and truly, like it's chill. It's really chill.
I mean, to be fair, I've never actually heard of Sophia before until I met you.
I never did as well. I never did. I don't think a lot of like we get it's tourist season right now. Like we do get tourists, and like it's a tricky one because most people don't know the country exists, but then at the same time, when they come and visit, they're like, oh, this actually isn't that bad. This is just like any regular city.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember when me, you, and Janisa is
Uh-huh.
another like mutual friend. Um, we went to go play pool, and
Mm.
I remember saying that I thought that Sophia was in Spain, and I was like,
Yeah, we were like, no.
cause okay, to me Sophia
Yes,
sounds like a Spanish
yes,
country.
that's true. That's very true. That's very true. I can see where the confusion would come from. But I remember when you said that, and me and Denise were just like, no. But even like with Spain and stuff, Spain is another country that I mean, I've been to Barcelona. Barcelona was chill, but again, that place has a lot of diversity. But to go to places like Italy and stuff like that, I'm just like, no,
Mm,
because sorry, but they are. And if anyone Spanish is watching, but you guys are very racist, very, very racist.
yeah, yeah, it's
Not all of
unfortunate.
you, obviously, but the vast majority, yes.
So what? Is this your second year of med school? Third?
They're
Is it?
going on to fourth.
Oh, okay. So how many years is that? Six in total, right?
Yes, six in total. Well, six and a half because we do an internship and then, well, interns. I don't want to bash my school, but we do an internship, and then we do state exams, and then we're officially doctors.
Okay.
Because I
It
think the UK does something similar. I think I don't know.
When you say internship, is that something similar to like residency?
Yes and no. Um, it's literally just exams, and like you just go to hospitals and then learn for your exam, and then you take the exam, and then that's it.
Now, how difficult is med school?
Okay. I always tell people when they ask me this question, med school is not difficult. It's just it's difficult to find a routine in the sense that when you start studying medicine, yes, you are allowed to have fun, but to a degree, in the sense that you need to understand that you have exams coming up. So it's just, I think the difficult part of it is balancing your personal, and this is just with medicine in general, is balancing your personal life and, your work slash study life. I would say that's the most difficult part because I don't, I've had this conversation with someone else as well. I feel like COVID, because, everybody was at home and just not leaving the house,
Hmm.
it made not medical school different, but studying more difficult in med school because you were at home, you were free to do whatever you want. Most of the exams were either written or online, so there wasn't that how do I describe it? Uh that feeling in the back of your mind, like, I have to study for this exam. But then like once we switched back to how we were before COVID, it was like it just felt like so overwhelming. But
Hmm.
I would say medical school isn't difficult. You just have to a lot of well, everyone's studying is different, but just a lot of studying and balance and making sure you can balance everything.
Hmm. Is there like a lot of practical work in med school?
When you get into your clinicals, so fourth year to sixth year, because ours is a 6 year program, there's more practical stuff. And then I know my university does like workshops and stuff. So yes, there's a lot of practical stuff.
Does does like unis in Sophia have things like? Because in the UK, I am aware that we have like clubs and societies and.
Yes, we have societies. Like I'm part of my university's ACS society. So it's the African Caribbean Society. And I know we have like debate societies, we have Southeast Asian societies. I know there's a football club. There's all types of stuff.
So how comes you have Discord? I'm interested in that.
I have it because me and my friend watched anime on it.
Oh,
That's the only reason why I have it.
is this one of your roster?
Listen, he
Is
used
it?
to be, but that's that was time ago.
Time
Funny enough,
ago.
he was Canadian. He was Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
I think I was talking about a different guy, but okay.
I don't know who that is, but
Because on Instagram, you're posting about this guy on your
yeah,
stories.
no, no, no. He's blessed. He is. We'll just say he's very sweet. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at
Okay,
that.
we'll leave it at
We will leave it
that.
at that. We will leave it at that.
Okay. Have you been talking to Janisa recently?
Actually, I have not, because she's just been busy with because once you get into your clinicals, you have more time to go home.
Mm.
So, like most people are either home, working in hospitals, studying for exams. So, actually, no, I think I talked to her like a week and a bit ago, and I was just checking up on her and making sure she was okay.
Mm. I think she messaged me as well when I posted something on my Instagram story asking if I was okay, and I was like, oh, I was spoken to you in ages, but
Denise,
like, oh,
Denise is so cute. She is so adorable. She is so
uh,
cute.
you both are adorable because you guys. I think you two are the only ones from like my from the people that I know that like still check up on me.
Well, yeah, because like, and I always strive on checking up on people because it's like what despite being anxious and having ADHD, stuff is always running through my head. I'm always just like making sure people are okay because life is tough.
Mm.
Life is very tough. And, on social media, some people can present, life's going good, I'm feeling good, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then on the inside, it's like a completely different story. So I was even having a conversation with someone yesterday who revealed something to me. that was that I did not know. And like it's just always good to check up on your friends because again, you just never know what they're going through and if they need someone to check up on them. So whenever I just think of a person randomly, I'm like, I don't even care if like I haven't spoken to the person in months, years, doesn't matter. I will message them and I'll be like, hey, like how you doing?
Mm.
You know, just make sure they're okay.
It's those, like, I really enjoy those type of friendships where like we haven't spoken to each, because we don't speak to each other like every day, but when we do, it's just like it just feels normal.
It's just like exactly. Like I'll literally am I allowed to swear on here? Okay.
Go ahead.
Literally Jonah and I will just be like, hey slut, and then 5-10 minutes just having a casual conversation about like what's going on in life. Because again, you just it I feel like especially in our generation, a lot of people are lonely.
Yeah.
But it's not in like I wouldn't say it's like the negative connotation of lonely. It's more like people stick to who they know in our generation. So like a lot of people just kind of get pushed to the side and they literally just feel lonely. So yeah, it's just always good to check up on people because I know like I'm very blatant with when I had like when I was struggling with my mental health, I knew I was not reaching out to people until like I then expressed it once they reached out to me and they were like, oh, like, you know, we're always here for you. Don't hesitate to message. And then that made me realize the importance of like you need to reach out to your friends because you can push yourself to such a degree of loneliness where like you genuinely feel like you have no one. So
I do feel like that our generation kind of forgets how important, you know, communication is. And that we always keep to ourselves.
Exactly. Because, like, despite, you know, everything that social media gives us, like, the ability to talk to people and whatnot and engage, I still feel that a lot of people don't use it to their advantage. But more, not more in the sense of, like, you know, becoming influencers or whatnot. Like, social media is basically structured around, but like you have it there to also connect with family and friends. So yeah, that's what I would say in terms of just reach out to your friends because you really just don't know what they're going through. So
yeah, definitely. Now, bring it back. Who started calling each other slut?
That's very good. I actually know. I think because remember, I'm even remembering the group chat with me, you, and Janisa. We have not messaged on that in months.
Yeah, no, that conversation, that group is dead.
Yeah, it is dead. It's dead. Because we're all just busy doing our own thing.
Yeah.
But I think it definitely came from the group chat. Because you and Janisa sometimes ganged up on me, or me and Janisa would gang up on you. So I probably called someone that in the group chat.
And now it's just like a normal thing. Do you like call your other friends sluts as well?
No, I don't. You are literally the only one.
What?
The only one. Yes. Yes, you are literally the only one.
I'm
Anyone
not...
else, I'll just be like, hey or hi. And then Jonah, hey slut.
Wow. I don't know if I should feel honored or like insulted.
You should feel honored. Actually, feel both. Feel
okay.
Both.
Okay.
Feel both.
Okay. Oh dear. I want to talk about your tattoo that you got like recently.
Literally yesterday. I probably should not hit it, but this is it. What do you want to know? A lot of people are actually asking me about like the pain part of it, because I feel like when it comes to tattoos, a lot of people are always scared about the pain. But I have 10 piercings, so
You enjoy it.
And yes, Jonah knows this.
You're a
enjoy.
masochist.
I am not. I am not. Jonah knows that I enjoy tattoo. No, not tattoo. Actually, I kind of was enjoying it because during the tattoo, I actually kind of fell asleep. I was falling. Is that Cookie?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day I meet that dog. Anyways, so I have 10 piercings.
Hmm.
Mind you, I'm an African child. My parents have just, well, not given up, but they're just like tone it down. So I don't plan to get any more piercings, but I might start working on my other ear. So I have 10 piercings, and I weirdly enough do not like some people when it comes to piercing pain. I think my two, because I have double nose piercing as well. My nose piercings were the most painful, but like when I was going down my ear, did my cartilage and did my I think snug snug piercing, those did not hurt. And people said like
A what
those really,
piercing?
really hurt. A snug piercing, it's like um it's not your tragus, which is like the little, I don't know how to explain it, but a snug piercing is it's just a piercing inside your ear.
Okay.
Um yeah, so like obviously I got my ears pierced as a baby, then I did my lobes. And then one day I wanted to get my cartilage pierced, and when she first put the needle through, it literally did not hurt. And she was like, out of the blue, she was like, "Do you want to get a second piercing?" And I was like, "Yes." That's when I knew. I was like, "Yeah, I have quite a different pain tolerance compared to
you,
other people."
you just
Cause
relish in
yeah,
the
when
pain.
like this only took, I think it took like hour and a half.
Hmm.
Um, it whether because this is my first ever tattoo. When the needle first got on my skin, I was like, okay, I could see why people say it feels like a cat scratch because that's literally the best, like the most accurate reaction, like not reaction, the most accurate description of it. And then like obviously they have to go over certain places. I would just feel the vibration of the needle more than anything else.
Hmm.
So again, I was like, okay, this actually isn't that bad. And I even told like the tattoo artist, I was like, yeah, this does not hurt as much as I thought it would. Because he actually thought I was nervous.
Hmm.
Because I was just chilling there and I was literally just like swinging on the chair.
Like a little
And he
kid.
was literally, because my feet were dangling off the floor, so I was kicking my feet too because I'm 5'4", so I'm a short person. Um, and he was even like, because I asked him, I was like, oh, like, have you ever had? Because I was just chit chatting with him as well
Yeah.
during the piercing, and like when he was doing the design for, oh, I said piercing tattoo. And I was just asking him like a whole bunch of questions. So he took that as me being nervous, but I was like, I was genuinely just curious. Because when I meet people, I'm always so curious. As I, I just ask a lot of questions when I meet people, just to get a gauge of how they are.
Hmm.
So yeah, it just felt like a cat scratch, but people had told me about shading. So when I got this, it was just supposed to be the sun,
Hmm.
but spontaneously I was like, the sun would pop out more if like there was a black outline. So he was like, yeah, we can do that. That hurt, but it wasn't anything too painful. But I think it depends on the area. But also again, my tattoo artist even said the same thing. He was like, pain is subjective to different people.
Hmm.
So it hurt, but it wasn't anything unbearable. Like when it would start to hurt, I
It
just
was
closed my
actually
eyes.
enjoyable.
Shut up. Anyways, um, so yeah, like when the shading part happened, he even asked me. He was like, "Oh, does this?" Because he literally switched like the needle in front of me, and he just spontaneously asked me. He was like, "Oh, like does this hurt?" And
Hmm.
I was like, Not really." And he was like, he made a face, and I was like, "Oh, is it supposed to?" And he was like, "Most people find this part the most painful." And I was like, "Obviously, like it hurts, but I'm like, it's not anything unbearable." And he was like, "Noted." And that's when I was like, "Yeah, I enjoy this a bit too much."
Oh dear. So how, like, when you say shading, because I'm thinking of like,
Yeah, that's literally what they do with the like they're literally it like when I was, because I had like my arm like that when he
Yeah.
was doing it, because obviously it's like the tattoos on the back of my tricep. Um, it's like tattoo artists are so cool in the sense that like they're literally getting paid to
Draw.
draw and color,
Permanently draw on you.
yes, for a living. So that's the best way I can describe. When they're shading, it's like they're literally like like filling in a coloring book.
But it's still like needle going in,
Yeah,
right?
but like the needle is going so fast and like because it's I've seen like videos of tattoo needles like under a microscope or something like up close and it's like literally like I think well it depends again like I don't know I'm not a tattoo artist um it's like multiple small needles like within the tattoo gun just going in and out of your
Oh yeah,
skin.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen those TikToks.
yeah. And like we'll even talk about something being ethnic and getting a tattoo. So I am Nigerian. You are
Chinese.
Chinese. Tattoos do not run within our community, respective communities. And hmm, I've always wanted to have a conversation as to why. Like I've always wanted to ask my parents and like, the elders
Mm.
in our communities, like, why do you guys hate tattoos so much? But each time the conversations just shut down immediately. Like it's just like, no, no tattoos. Never. They're bad. And it's like, but why? I always want to question, but why? Like what's so bad?
Mm.
Because I think they just equate like tattoos and stuff to being a criminal and like out here in these streets popping guns and it's just like no I just kind of the tattoo is just cool.
Mm. I mean, I know in Japanese culture it's quite
Yes. Actually
dangerous.
I was even having that conversation with my tattoo artist yesterday and he was saying like yeah in Japan it was literally like banned.
Mm.
And even like in Japan only doctors were able to give people tattoos like regular tattoo artists were not a thing. Like you had to get your tattoo from a doctor.
Mm. Because when we were in Japan and we were going through like all the onsen is like
Don't you
the
have to like cover them up?
so my sister's boyfriend had to I think it was okay like to
They
have
like
open tattoos, but he like for our sake he like separated himself from us and just like
yeah,
went to the onsens.
because I follow quite a lot of like Japanese YouTubers and stuff, and like some of them had to cover up, but then some of them would also make like in their videos would say it just depends on where you go. Like some places are still because obviously Japan is like a very it's from what I've seen, because I've never been to Japan, but I will definitely, I know I'm going to go one day. From what I've seen, Japan is like, it's developed but still modern in a sense.
Mm. Wait,
Like,
developed but modern,
sorry. Developed but
still in the past.
still in the past. Yes. Because from what I've heard, like a lot of like Japan still uses like paper and like fax for some stuff. I don't know. Like
Mm.
certain
Yeah.
things, certain things are still in the past. And like obviously with tattoos and stuff, like they assumed you were from the Yakuza.
Mm.
So, but I kind of like that though about Japan. Like they still keep some traditions
Mm.
and like stuff that they used to do in the past.
It is very admirable to see how Japan has like obviously kept their old traditions, but also
Mm-hmm.
somehow like modernized it in a way that it still works with them.
Mm.
So most of the places that we've been to, um, obviously they still had the like traditional
Mm.
like paper sliding doors and everything.
Yeah. And then like the kimonos, I find the kimonos and stuff like that so cool. I love anime, but I'm not like one of those people
We
that's like anyways, I'm not one of those people that's like you know those people that once they get into anime, like their whole personality will shift to low-key wanting to be Japanese.
Yeah.
That's when you're entering weird territory. That's when you're being weird. Because it's like you, for example, you can love anime and you can be a weeb and you can appreciate Japan. But one thing you need to learn is Japan is not as nice as it seems. Japan is not as nice as it seems. And what they did during like World War II.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and I think like when I learned that, I was like, yeah, I can see why some Japanese people are like, you again, you can love Japan, but chill,
Mm.
chill.
Um, Going back to your tattoo,
Uh-huh.
what was the meaning behind the whole sun?
Okay. So I am a very, very anxious person. Like anxious thoughts run through my mind 24/7. I will always assume the worst when it comes to things. So, um, in a lot of instances, I tend to, yeah, I'd say look down on myself in the sense that I always assume, oh, I can't do it because, I'm anxious. Have a lack of focus, yada, yada, yada. So when it comes to challenging things or, yeah, yeah, I'd say challenging things, I tend to not put myself forward and, tell myself, you could do it. Like, you got this. So I just wanted to get a permanent reminder. Um, because a lot of people say this as well about me once they meet me, that I tend to be a very positive person.
Mm.
But to myself, sometimes I have days where I'm just like, and this is understandable for everybody. Like, not no, everyone's not always going to be like sunshine and rainbows every day, which is understandable. But
Mm.
I just get into moments where like it will drag on for like days, where I'm just like, people say I'm a positive person, this is that, but am I really positive? Like just those anxious thoughts and like feelings of self-doubt, because I'm also a very, very self-conscious person. I'm very, very self-conscious. So I just wanted to get like a permanent reminder that, you know, people aren't wrong when they say that I am literally a ray of sunshine
Mm.
to a lot of people, and I bring a very, very positive energy to not only meeting people but things that I do as well. So that was the main reason behind it, just to always remind myself like you are a ray of sunshine
Mm.
in a lot of people's life as well as your life. So that was why I got the I think for a lot of tattoos that I will eventually get, there's going to definitely be meaning behind them.
Mm.
I don't think I'm going to be one of those spontaneous people that will like tattoo like a crop of them or something. That's just weird. Like, or like a toaster. Some people like tattoo like toasters on them and like which is weird stuff, and I'm like, this is permanent. Remember?
Yeah, I do have a friend who
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I
so
we will not say the person, but I remember I was looking and I'm like, that's a collage. That's a scrapbook on your arm.
he does have like an
No, but
obsessive
they're very
amount
cool
of
though. They're
no,
very
don't
cool.
get me wrong, they are like very cool designs and like very cool like it's just very cool, but at the same time they're permanent.
And like, cause like one thing that I was thinking as well is like, I'm gonna be old,
Yeah.
and cause when I see people just get like random stuff
Hmm.
like a Simpsons character tattooed on them, I'm like, you're gonna be 60 and with the Simpsons. Anyways, your life, do what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the also the main reason why I'm still hesitant on getting a tattoo. Like, I love the idea of
Mm,
it. I think it looks
yes,
sick,
like,
but
cause even like with this and stuff, cause I was even having that thought yesterday. I'm like, how am I gonna look with this when like I'm old? But I
yeah,
was like, I mean, mine actually looks cool, so I'm like, I'm just gonna be that cool grandma with a sun tattoo on the back of her arm. So I was like, I don't regret it.
yeah,
It was actually a very good first time. tattoo. People weren't expecting me to go so big,
Mm.
but I like the placement and just like the whole design and everything.
Mm. So what's
Mm.
your next tattoo gonna be?
Hmm. Um,
It's
Probably a
it's soon,
quote.
right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Well, less than 2 weeks now, but it's probably gonna be a quote, like on a biblical quote, like on my forearm. I don't. I'm still eh, deciding on placement and stuff
Mm. Just get
because
like.
I'm a very meticulous person, and I don't want to put something on me that's permanent, and I'll be looking at it like, oh God, I hate this, because again, anxiety. I'll just be assuming, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? So again, I'm a very meticulous person, like, because remember that thing I posted on my Instagram where I was like, sensitive person bingo.
Oh
As
yeah,
soon
yeah.
as as soon as I saw the square perfectionist, I said yes, yes, because I am a perfectionist. If things don't go the way I want them to, I will.
Mm. I mean, I can tell with like the decoration around your room. It's very
So
neat.
I'm even like thinking, I'm like, when am I gonna like take all of these down? Because some days I look up at it and I'm like, I kind of hate this, but but then I'm also like, I also did not like it when my wall was super plain because I felt
Mm.
like I was in jail.
Mm.
Because
I
I
mean,
put like all of this
yeah,
up during like COVID.
yeah. I still need to decorate my walls.
I think, yeah, I remember I saw a quote that was like, your room is your sanctuary. So I was like, I'm going to take that literally. And I got all of this stuff. Listen, I see the otter on your bed.
that that adorable thing.
I love actually, weirdly enough, I was on TikTok 2 days ago and I literally saw a TikTok of this guy explaining he was like a wildlife like catcher or something like that. And he was literally explaining he's like, otters are cute, but they're one of the top animals that I hate having to um deal with because he's like they are cute and cuddly on the outside, but he's like people tend to forget that they're wild animals.
Mm.
Like he was saying that I think in the video he was even saying he's like they can grow up to like 190 pounds or something like that. Yeah, and don't want to ruin your image on others because I was even like um they're quite crazy. They're quite crazy.
But like, they're just so adorable.
They are adorable, but again, and I think that's even the thing with because I love red pandas. I love red pandas.
Oh, red pandas
The
are amazing.
red pandas are adorable, but again, people will always be like they are wild animals.
Yeah, I feel like one you should go to Japan
I know I'm definitely gonna go to Japan one day. I
and
will definitely go one day.
definitely go to an
It's
otter cafe.
it's just the planning, isn't it? Like the planning is yeah. I'd say the planning is the most difficult part when it comes to Japan because you can't just go because obviously like people aren't going to speak English and you can't assume it's in you know when like Americans go to certain places and they're like, oh, like why aren't you speaking English? You know what I mean? Like you can't just go to certain countries and then automatically assume like everybody's going to speak English. Like obviously
Um,
you can get by.
I mean, surprisingly enough, obviously I don't speak Japanese or any bit of it. I know a few
Mhm.
words, but they are extremely accommodating.
I mean, it's Japan. Remember,
Yeah,
Japan is known for like its hospitality and stuff.
yeah.
But I think because again, I'm perfectionist,
Mm.
so I really want everything to go the way it's supposed to. Because as soon as it doesn't, anxious thoughts.
I feel like you would
Um,
break down on like the streets of Japan.
I I probably would because even like I remember when you were telling me like you had problems with your was it like the COVID
Oh my
vaccine?
god, yeah.
Yes. Yes. I was
uh,
like if I was in that situation, I would be like, okay, I'm on the first flight back to where I came from because I'm just like I would just assume nothing is gonna go my way for the rest of the trip.
you know, honestly, when I first encountered that problem, I was just like, everything was just going downhill because I thought I was just like losing. I'm just gonna lose all my like airline tickets. I was gonna lose
Mm,
all the like causing all this trouble for like my family and like all these bookings and stuff.
hmm
But yeah, it it went down very smoothly. Like I still
I mean,
went,
you were there for like a week.
yeah, and honestly, best trip because
I was so jealous.
we
I'm not
haven't.
gonna lie.
Hmm?
I said I was very jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, and what do I do when I have time? I just go to London. London. I mean, well,
London.
like actually, I won't bash London because I'll say in the sense that there is stuff to do, but I was having this conversation with. I have a lot of friends from the UK. I've come to realize, like, I swear I have more UK friends than Canadian friends now because
Mm.
I just gel with. Because remember, I was raised in Ireland before I moved to Canada, so I kind of have a decent understanding of like UK culture and stuff like that. And I remember I was having this conversation with someone from the UK, and they were just saying, "Oh, London is bad vibes. It's this, that. It's boring. Um, everyone is just in a rush. No one wants to like form connections." And I was like, "Yeah, but like, is it really that bad?" Like, I do understand in the sense that, um, and I don't want to say this in a negative way, but a lot of UK people complain. You guys complain. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You guys complain so much to the point that I'm just like, are you happy? Are you happy?
You have to you
But I
just
do
have to
understand. Like
accept it.
it's one of the like the major cities in the world. So like, and
Mm.
everyone's in a rush. Like John, I'm not gonna lie. The tube terrified me. The tube terrified me.
The tube
Because
is
remember,
horrifying.
actually, because I saw the big map of like all the connections and stuff, and I was like, how am I going to sort this out?
Mm.
So I thought like, oh, you have to be like connecting all of them in some way until someone was literally like, you just followed the line. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then like I was just hopping when I realized like once I got a sim and I just went on Google Maps
Mm.
that it's so easy. I was like, so I was freaking out about this for nothing. Because
Mm.
there was when the last time I was in London, I was just going, yeah, 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 yeah. Like I had no problems hopping on and off the tube. But uh, this, this tube stinks though. My gosh, it
Oh,
stinks.
yeah,
It
definitely.
actually stinks.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you would even think I'm like, is there a dead body like hiding somewhere? Because like the stench was actually disgusting.
Honestly, it is very concerning how there are some tube lines in London that don't have like AC, and like tube
Yes.
stations that don't have AC.
Like what literally like once you step out onto the street, that's your first breath of fresh air
Yeah,
in like half an hour to 45 minutes.
yeah. It just makes no sense.
And then again, people are always in a rush. They're always in a rush, and I'm just like slow. Like I know you have to get to work, but slow down,
Mm.
slow down, slow down.
But like with our rush, it's not like an organized rush, and it's very
So what do you
chaotic
mean?
and very, I would say, dangerous.
What do
So,
you mean?
so like in Japan
Oh,
or
like
like
it's
Hong Kong,
organized.
yeah,
Uh-huh. I
like
want to go to
people,
Hong Kong one day
Hong
for the
Kong is mad.
mostly for the food and just for the vibe. But
Honestly,
then I
we
I heard
should go
like
together.
I'm
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 putting it
gonna
down here
I'm
now.
gonna I'm gonna remember that. What was I gonna say? The only thing with Hong Kong is like I've heard a lot of Chinese people have never seen black people before, so they'll be like,
I would say it is. I would say it
I mean,
is very
I
common.
wouldn't care in the sense that like, okay, I'm a curious person as well, but I would feel uncomfortable, obviously.
Mm.
And some people have even like been asked to take pictures, and
Mm.
that's when I'd be like, okay, no,
Think yourself as a celebrity.
an involuntary celebrity.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I wouldn't be mean or anything, or be like, like get away from me. But I'd just be like, sorry, no.
Mm. Yeah, I do have to commend like Asian countries with their like public transport. It is
Oh,
like extremely convenient, and it just
but
gives
I've
you
heard like
confidence.
The Japanese one is like semi confusing though.
Yeah, I mean when I got there, it was quite overwhelming
Mm.
because well, I know in the UK, um, there's like
Designated people to help you if you get confused.
no,
What do you mean no?
I mean from
Because because when me and Janisa went, there was act because we were taking because remember we landed at Stansted Airport and we were taking the train back.
mm,
Did you know that like we sat there and we thought our train was we didn't know that it comes frequently.
mm.
So we were waiting for a certain time and a dude came up to us and he was like, "Girls, your train just left." And we were like, "It did?" And he was like, "Yes, the train comes like every 10 to 15 minutes, so you don't have to wait for a specific one." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And we're like, "We'll wait for the next one." He's like, "I can tell you this is like your first time here." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It's like, um, so and so, my ex,
Mm.
he paid for our tickets. So he was just like, just literally like he's like, he literally the only thing was like tap in, tap out. So that was the only thing he told us. But he didn't tell us like, okay, the train will come like every 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to wait. And then this is my biggest complaint with London. This is my biggest complaint with London. How long it takes to get from one place to another. Because like in like places I've been, tops 15, 20 minutes. In using the tube, I'd see like an hour
Mm.
to like an hour and 15 minutes. I was like, scary,
Mm.
scary. But again, I understand because like the hustle and bustle of London.
Yeah.
But I think that would be my only complaint when it comes to living in the UK. But people have even told me as well, they're like, in terms of like how chill I find the UK, they're like, yeah, once you first live in the UK for the first couple of months, you're like, oh my goodness, it's so good. Like, it's so chill. Like, this is a new place. But then, like, as you start to live there longer and longer, you become gray.
You
You
become.
become, you become gray. And I was like, that's very true. That's very true. Because, like, I've just been hearing a lot of people complain how expensive stuff is.
Yeah,
Expensive. They're like,
it is.
nothing is £1 anymore. Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
nothing
It's
at all.
either £1.15, £1.30.
Yep.
And I was like,
I
no,
mean,
and
we.
Tesco surprised me. Tesco surprised me, because I remember I literally just went. I was thinking, like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Tesco and just buy some water and buy some like lemonade. I spent £30 in Tesco for what? Then it was just a couple of items,
Mm.
mind you. And I remember like being so and so, and he was just looking at me like, the club card is useless. It's useless now. And I was like, I can see that now because he was paying for stuff. But then there was one time I was like, "Ah, you know what? Like I got it. I got it. I got it." And he was just like, okay. And then by the time we rang up everything, I saw £30 and I said, I beg your pardon. And it was like 6 items or like 7 items at most. And
Yeah.
like when we were young, because obviously I lived in Ireland, so Ireland had Tesco, and I'm sure when you were young as well, if you could get like 10 plus items for like £10
Oh yeah.
or £15 at most.
Yeah. Definitely.
At most. And the
Yeah.
government is like, oh, inflation. Shut up. Shut up. What do you mean inflation?
That is very true. Like, we have. I don't know if you have you heard of Poundland.
Yes, yes, yes.
So for people who don't know, Poundland is basically a shop where most of the items in there is like a pound.
£1 or
That
less.
that's not the case
It
anymore.
used to be.
That's not the case anymore.
It's so depressing. Like it's why is it called Poundland and something is £5? Like this defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it is. London is just a fever dream. Like, is it as bad in where you are?
Not really in the sense that like because our currency is in lev and the pound is double lev. So if you're like paying for something with like the UK conversion, it's cheaper.
Hmm.
It's cheaper. But I would say the only thing that McDonald's is disgustingly expensive now. Worldwide. It's not even just here. McDonald's is expensive.
Hmm.
McDonald's is expensive. You might as well buy groceries now because McDonald's is going to equal the amount that you pay for groceries. McDonald's is so expensive.
The thing with McDonald's is like if you pay for the McDonald's in the UK, it's not worth it because the quality is just so bad. You're just paying for
We're gonna
rubbish.
we're gonna discuss that because I remember when me and Janisa came to visit, I was adamant. I was like, guys, we gotta go to McDonald's. We gotta go to McDonald's because last time I was in the UK, the McDonald's was so good because I remember I got like the chicken selects.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
got the
yeah.
chicken selects and I got because I this was when I traveled with my family, and I got like the matzo sticks, and it was so good. I was like, the creme de la creme. The last time I was in the UK and I got McDonald's, first off, it was so busy and chaotic because it was a Friday.
Mm.
So like, and I went I went to the McDonald's in Liverpool Station. Do you know that McDonald's?
Liverpool
It's
Street.
no isn't it Liverpool Station? Or is the McDonald's on the outside?
Did you go to Liverpool?
Anyways, no, like the station.
Liverpool Street Station.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
McDonald's there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I went to the McDonald's there. Just chaos, chaos.
Yeah.
People yelling. Most of the seats were taken up. Like it was hot and humid. It felt like an auction, honestly, just to get my McDonald's. It felt like an auction. And like what I just got a Big Mac because I wanted to keep it so simple because the ice cream actually no, the ice cream machine wasn't broken down. This is in North America. So I got an ice cream, and then I think I just got Big Mac, and yeah, I think I just got ice cream and a Big Mac, and fries were soggy. Big Mac was
Oh
bland. My
no.
ice cream was melted. I was just like, and this like I had been so excited to go to McDonald's because I think when me, you, and or I think it was just me and Janisa that went to McDonald's. I don't know, but that was okay. But then I was like, you know what? I feel like this was just a one-time thing. I'm like the UK McDonald's that I know, it's good. Never again. Never again. And it was
No.
so expensive.
It
So
is.
expensive.
It is ridiculously expensive
For
now.
two people, I think it was like 24 pounds or like 20 something like that. It was just I was just like this is actually ridiculous. I
Yeah.
was so disappointed. So disappointed.
I would say that is you have to find the right McDonald's to get like the best quality.
But people are so chaotic though in like any McDonald's in the UK. Like why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Why are you actually yelling? Like just get your food and go somewhere else or go sit down.
It's a family restaurant.
That ramen place we went to was really, really well. Wasn't it like a Korean fusion place or something?
Oh,
You know when me, you, Janisa,
yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
Carlo went. That was really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. And
Yeah.
then me and Janisa were baffled because here, if you try and split the bill, they usually they know. Well, some places do, but most places don't get you to split the bill.
Mm.
And then when you were like, "Oh, we can split the bill four ways, so get whatever you want," because everyone's gonna equally pay. Me and Janisa were like, "This is possible?" No, because remember, I wanted to. We all got the Korean barbecue, and then
Mm.
I was like, like I kind of want to, get ramen for myself. And you were like, yeah, you can get ramen for yourself. And then I was like, yeah, but I'll just pay for it separately. And you're like, all of us are gonna pay. We're gonna split it four ways. And I was just like, we can do that? No, because I was shocked. And then Janisa was like, I had the kimchi today.
Did you even finish that ramen in the end? I don't think so. Yeah.
no, because it was big. I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought it was just going to be like a side portion, because
Oh,
it was cheap. It was like £7. So I
that's
was like,
not cheap.
okay. Anyways, sorry, I'm thinking Canadian, like $7. So I was like, okay. I was like, okay, like I'll just buy it. And then the dude comes out with this massive bowl, and I was just like, oh.
Wait, but okay, so you ordered ramen, right?
Hmm.
And you expect it to be like a small portion.
Yes, because I like that's what I was expecting. And then because remember I ordered the veggies for us as well, for us to put on the. Because remember I ordered
Yes.
ramen and then I ordered the veggies. And I think you and Carlo ordered the meat, and then me and Janisa ordered her kimchi jjigae,
Yes.
and I think something else. I think she ordered something else as well. But then we all split it 4 ways. And that meal wasn't actually that expensive between the four of us. I
No,
was
it was actually
surprised.
surprisingly okay.
I think each of us paid like 11 or £14 each
I think
or
so,
something
yeah.
like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
and then when the dude was like, "Oh, we're kind of busy, so you guys can only stay here for 1 hour," we're like, we're not gonna need an hour. We're not gonna need an hour to eat. Don't worry." Because we were in and out in like half an hour, I think.
I want to say half an hour. I'd probably say like 40 minutes. But
Maybe.
yeah,
But
that that was a good time.
when we went to well, you went to gosh, Jollibee.
Oh yeah.
That was very fun. That was very, very fun. That was very fun. Because remember, me and Janisa landed, and we were like, "Oh, we can't check into our Airbnb until later." And mind you, this is the first time we're ever meeting Jonah, and Jonah just goes, "Want me to buy you chicken?" And we were like, "You don't have to," but he was insistent because remember, me and Janisa were like, "Oh, we'll just wait," because you were already in. No, I remember I mentioned to you, I was like, "Oh, I really want to try Jollibee once I come,"
Yeah.
and you were just because you got there before us, so you were just like, "I'm gonna go to Jollibee."
Mm.
And then you were like, you were inside and it was packed because it was Saturday. And you were like, do you guys want anything? Because like you guys aren't going to be able to get in by
Mm.
the time like you finish ordering. And we're like, no, 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 it's okay. Like we'll just go somewhere else. But because you remembered that I really wanted Jollibee, you're like, I will buy you Jollibee. And we were just like, oh, bless. And then we all sat outside eating Jollibee. And this was the first time all three of us had met. But one thing I'll say with that interaction, and this is one thing I always tell you whenever like we have our deep talks and stuff, I was like, meeting Jonah for the first time was not awkward in the slightest. Because
Really?
remember because remember like you were in Jollibee, and
Yeah.
then me and Janisa were waiting outside, and we actually didn't want to come in, but then the dude like he had seen us like waiting out there for like a long time. He was just like, you guys can go in, and we were like the only two that were allowed to go in. Remember I tapped you and I was like, hello. Because you didn't know that we were in. And when you turned around, you were just like, and I was just, the way you turned around, you actually looked scared for your life. And I was just like, bro, chill. I was like, I'm not gonna stab you in the jelly beans, chill.
Uh.
But no, it wasn't awkward. And Janice even said the same thing as well. Like once me and her went back to the Airbnb, we were like, yeah, Jonah is actually genuinely a chill person.
Oh, thank you guys.
Jonah only gets one compliment a week from me. One
Yeah.
compliment a
It
week.
is very it's very special.
Yes.
um have you ever came across this weird trend that's been, well, not trend, but like this thing that's been going around recently
All trends on
on
social media are
TikTok?
weird. All trends on social media are weird.
But
But which one?
have you came across the, what was it, RCTA Discord channels?
No,
You haven't heard about
I
it?
don't know what that is. Mm-mm.
You know how people like to roleplay?
Oh, I don't even elaborate. As soon as I hear roleplay, I'm like, already you lost me because people are weird on the internet. People are weird.
So apparently there's like a group of these, I guess, non-Asian uh girls who are claiming, I say claiming, but like saying that they want to look Asian or like want to become Asian. It's so weird.
Again, you can love another person's culture, but you cannot claim it as your own if you are not that ethnicity. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, this is just a prime example of wannabe cultural appropriation.
it
Do you
is.
remember there's cultural appreciation and there's cultural appropriation. This is just straight. What do you mean you want to look Asian? Are you Asian or not?
It's actually the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a while. Cause like,
Cause like you'll see those people who like they use the eyeliners to like make their eyes look like they have monolids
yeah,
or like even like super big as if they're literally an anime character, and it's like you look ridiculous. You actually look stupid.
it is.
Have you look and obviously not hating, do what you want to do, but it's like
No, don't do
at your
that. No, don't do that.
well, okay, true, but it's like at your big age,
It's so weird.
because it's like I feel like also with people who do that, they don't understand like both of us being ethnics and minorities. It's like okay, yeah, like our culture may look cool, but it's like, are you gonna deal with, the racial things that we have to go through?
Exactly.
For example, people, I'm not gonna do it because that's
I saw you. I saw your hands.
I, I'm not gonna do it. But when people, I was going to motion. When people do
Yeah, yeah. The Icelands.
the Icelands or um saying ni hao or ching chong to anyone they see that's
Yeah.
East Asian. It's like, or just Asian in general. It's like, stop. Like, if you don't want to, and obviously you're never going to have to go through those things. 'Cause you're literally not Asian. If you're not going to, first off, defend people who go through those things, because again, they just like the outside surface of what like Asian culture is. If you don't want to defend people going through that, or you don't want to go through that yourself,
Mm.
leave people's culture alone. Appreciate it, but don't use it as a costume. You
Mm.
get what I mean? Because it's like, um, I'm honestly waiting for the day. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm waiting for the day that I see someone do something racist in public to like a stranger or something. Ooh, because the way I will jump like Batman, I will actually save the day. Because it's like, not on my watch.
Andrea to the rescue.
Yes, because what do you mean, ni hao? Oh, blood.
I'm
No,
gonna start seeing you on
no.
TikTok in like Sophia, just jumping people.
No, have you seen the thing on TikTok with like the pickpockets?
Oh my
Attenzione!
god, yes, I did. I came across that like several days ago.
Attenzione! Pickpocket portaristi!
Yes. What was
That's
that all about?
I think it's because like in like places like in Europe like Italy, Rome, Barcelona, all those type of places, those major cities and stuff with like tourist attractions, people are and Paris even Paris as well. People are easily pickpocketed.
Uh,
But also, I've seen some in London as well.
oh
Like
yeah, no. You remember the
people have
time
said
when
that
I nearly got fucking pickpocketed?
yes, yes.
Bloody
But
crazy.
mind you, I was having a conversation with someone, one of my UK friends, and I was telling him, I was like, oh, like, did you know that there's a lot of pickpocketing in London? And he was telling me how he literally had his phone just like chilling in his back pocket, and he's like, sometimes I just don't care, and I'm like, okay,
Uh,
'Cause-
it it's so scary, man. God.
but it's like there's pickpocketing everywhere, but like whenever people pickpocket like phones and stuff like that, I'm just like, what are you going to do with it? You get what I mean? Because I know like Apple has a lot of security measures and stuff when it comes to just any of their products. So it's like if someone's phone has been taken, and you know how like some people who take phones, they now try and get them to like they send like something to the person's like find my iPhone or
Mm.
the find my app so like they can unlock it. But it's like the person's obviously not going to unlock it if they don't have their phone. So I'm just like, what is the point?
Mm.
Because like Find My iPhone exists. They can literally track down where the phone is.
Well, I know on Androids there is a way to turn off the phone whilst it's still locked, which is quite frightening. That I know that.
Listen, a lot of places are stealing our information anyways, so
Yeah,
might as well get used to it.
but yeah, man, reliving that experience of being
No, because I remember you texted me and I was like, no, you texted me and Janice in the group chat and we were like, what? Because we were just confused. We were like, because we, like, you texted us and then, like, because you were obviously going back home. So you know how, like, when you go on the tube and stuff, you lose service. So you had been texting us and you were like, guys, I almost got robbed. And then we didn't hear from you for like 30 minutes. We were like, is he okay?
Yeah, this was after. I haven't told anyone this story. I don't think, apart from like one Instagram post. But I think I was coming back from like the DPR concert.
Yes.
Fantastic night. And
actually, can we speak about that concert? Remember that girl who kept touching my derriere, and I had to like turn around and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" And then no, because Jonah, it was so weird. She was with her boyfriend, and I was like, "Your boyfriend is there. Why are you touching me? Why are you touching?" And then because she did it 4 times. First time, I just ignored it because I was like, we were in standing, so everyone was like squashed together.
Yeah.
And like once it was once Christian U came out is when everyone started getting rowdy. Because like once DPR live and stuff, when they came out, it was good. But let's call it a spade. Everyone was there for Christian U. Everyone was there for Christian U. And because I remember when he took off his like coat thing.
Yeah.
And then he was just shirtless. I felt faint myself. But anyways, that's besides the point. So like when Christian U came out, everyone was just acting no home training, and it stunk in there as well. There was forgive me, I'm not gonna describe how this person looked. There was a particular person, and I was like, the smell that's emanating from you. I'm like, buddy, you did not have a shower before you came here, and that is disgusting. Anyways, yeah, when Christian U came out, I just literally kept feeling someone touching my derriere, and I thought, for the longest, I thought it was a dude. Lo and behold, it's a girl. I was like, ma'am? And then, like, when she was like, oh, sorry, like, she tried to say, she was really excited. I said, get excited to your boyfriend. He's right there. Because, like, when I literally had to tell her, I was like, can you stop? Her boyfriend was like, oh, she doesn't mean it. She doesn't. Then why has she done it 4 times?
Was it like an actual, like a grab or like a graze? Oh,
if she could have had 2 hands, she would have. If she could have, because you know how tight everyone was.
Yeah.
If she could have gotten the opportunity to use both hands, she would have. I was so confused, and like I had to like push through, because when I told her to like stop, she did it again, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not a confrontational person, so I did not want to deal with it. So I just moved, like I just literally pushed through people to get away from her. Because remember, like you were with Frankie. Is that his name?
No, it's Franco.
Franco. I knew it was either Frankie or Franco. Anyways, you were with Franco.
Yeah.
Me and Janisa were like side by side.
Yeah.
But then eventually, like, we got all separated, and I actually started making my way towards the front.
You got further apart from us.
Yeah.
You're just like, Christian.
No, it wasn't because I wanted to see Christian. Because I wanted to get away from the girl. And so yeah, Janisa. Then at one point, Janisa was now diagonal to me, and I was getting the best view. So I was the one holding up my phone so Janisa could see Christian U when he came out. Because you guys were obviously like taller than most people.
Yeah.
Because remember, we were surrounded by. Sorry to all the Filipinos out there listening, but you guys are my height, 5'4". So you were taller than like most of the Filipino guys and like the Filipino girls and stuff like that. So you guys could see. You guys had a good view. So I was just like up like this, and that was because like there was this one German girl, giant. I was like I'd never seen a girl that tall. So there was a pillar in front of me, so I had to put up my phone like this to see the whole concert.
Oh, no.
Like the concert was good, but if we all ever go to a concert again, I'm never doing standing. Never. Standing is, but
It's
also we got there late. We got there late.
yeah.
We got there late. But well, we didn't get there late because we still got a good spot in the queue. Because
Mm,
remember, some people came even after us. Like we were in the queue for like what, hour and a half?
mm.
Yeah. So we still got like semi good standing seats because we
Yeah.
weren't like towards the back. We were in like the middle.
Mm.
That's where we were.
I mean,
So
I think the only good thing about standing is that there is a way for you to all shuffle forward and into like the
exactly.
front part of the stage.
Mm.
But
Because
obviously,
I literally saw because remember when we first came, we couldn't see the railing to like the front of standing
mm.
because I was running away from Mrs. Copperfield. I then saw the railing and I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty close now because I was getting away from this weirdo.
uh, I'm really surprised that you didn't like confront her.
No, I'm not a confrontational person unless like it gets to the point of like disrespect.
You know what you should
And
have. You know what you should have done.
what?
Should have grabbed her ass.
Forgive me, but she looked like she didn't have much to work
Oh,
with.
that's.
She was very petite. She was very petite.
Oh no. Uh, anyways, back to me nearly getting robbed. Um, so yeah, it was quite late at night.
Mhm.
I think it was like midnight. I was walking back, and I was actually like 2 minutes away from my house, just walking down my road, and I just hear because I have like headphones on.
Uh,
I'm like still aware that like there's people
were they
behind me.
noise canceling?
Yeah, yeah, but
Why
obviously
would you do that?
I
Oh,
had
okay,
like
okay,
one
okay.
one ear off.
Hmm.
Um, but like in general, I'm quite a cautious person. So
Hmm.
the way I gripped my phone, anyways, was like I could probably bend it long term.
I'm screaming.
But yeah, I had like this bike behind me,
Hmm.
and it's like one of those electric bikes where I you can kind of hear the motor, but not really. And like with because I was texting someone as well, so my attention wasn't entirely there.
Hmm.
And then the next thing I know, I just see this two people on a bike. Like if this was the road, this was the pavement.
Okay, okay.
They were on the pavement side.
Hmm.
I think I can't even remember now. But yeah, they tried. One of the guys at the back of the bike seat was like grabbing my phone, but because I had like this gorilla grip hand on my phone, they didn't manage to snatch it, and they were like, "Good grip," and then it just rode off, and I was like,
Not the good grip.
"What? What just happened?"
Not good grip.
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like so close to my home, and then I was just shook the entire night.
I mean, it makes sense. Like first time getting robbed.
Yeah,
Well, attempted robbing.
yeah. Gotta gonna commend myself for that gorilla grip hand.
Do not ever make that gesture again. He said,
Um,
"Oh my God."
Jesus. Oh wow, it's been an hour 30.
Ah, wow. See what happens when you're having fun.
That sounded so ingenuine.
It was a good conversation
It
though.
was a good conversation.
Exactly.
You definitely do it sometime again.
Just let me know.
Yeah. Right. Anything you want to plug?
Just my Instagram, Andrea Opentade, my name. Probably won't accept you though, but it's worth a try.
Wait, you have two. You have two
Why would I plug
Instagrams.
my spam?
Okay,
Why
yeah,
would I plug? Don't do that. Don't do that. Mm-mm, don't do that. Let's not do that. I don't really use my spam anymore.
You
I've
don't?
mostly been using my. No, not really,
Really? I haven't even noticed.
because I've been mostly been posting on my close friends.
Yeah. Right. You can catch this podcast and me on AdOil PRD on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we're also on Spotify.
Yay!
And you can catch me on John Acario on Instagram and on TikTok, and potentially on YouTube. But other than that, thank you for listening. Hope you tune in next time and follow the podcast. Because God forbid, I need the support right now.
You get it. You get it. By God's grace, I'll be praying.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Bye bye.
See ya.